The next Bachelorette, or should I say the next two Bachelorettes, have been revealed. Hey guys, welcome back to another Shared News from Home. We are so excited to talk about this crazy Bachelorette news, but before we get started, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Hannah Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Avery Grooms and Hibba Berry. You guys, it is official. Two Bachelorettes, Michelle and Katie, have been announced. This was spoiled, like most things in Bachelor Nation, but we've got our confirmation now. How are we feeling, Avery?
Excited, way more hopeful. It already just seems much more in a positive light, you know? I'm not even gonna question why we have two bachelorettes. I was wondering, I was hoping they would explain that, but they didn't because I'm okay with the choices and I'm happy. These are two great women. I would be mad if Michelle wasn't the bachelorette, actually, especially after watching this episode. Like, she absolutely needs to be the bachelorette. Katie, okay, I'm excited about her too. But, yeah, it seems way more hopeful, way more positive, and something to look forward to. The girls always pick better than the guys do too, so they have a better track record.
For sure, after watching this episode, it was just so much more sweeter to hear Michelle's name when she was announced as one of the 2 bachelorettes because we need that justice for her. The way that Matt did her, man, he did her dirty, so really hoping for Michelle to have a great successful season as well as Katie. We've always been rooting for Katie for always being outspoken, standing her ground, never letting anyone walk over her. So, and she's always been wanting to find love too. She says she's 30, she's ready to find love. So, I'm really happy to see both of their relationships unfold and kind of, see them as leads because we saw them obviously as contestants. So, I think they're going to have graceful seasons because they're just such solid women and they just seem like such a fun time. So it's going to be really, really good 2 seasons of The Bachelorette.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you guys more. I think they are two very different women, but two very strong women, and we saw amazing things from them on Matt's season. I think this is going to be an interesting, series of events for the franchise, but I am thrilled. Emmanuel revealed that Katie's season is set to air in the summer, while Michelle's season is set to air in the fall. So Katie's up first, then Michelle. We know it looks like Katie's season is literally already under production, you guys. This is pretty interesting. I mean, we know pretty far in advance what the future of Bachelor Nation is shaping up to be here. I'm excited. I mean, what do you guys make of the timing? Are you happy to see Katie going first? Do you want more Michelle right now? How are you feeling, Hiba?
Yes, I think Katie is so passionate and ready than I think any other person that I've seen to find love, and I think she's gonna go about it the right way, the right intentions. She knows her standards, she's ready to, to hit the ground running, so I'm excited that she's going first, and I also know that, Michelle is a teacher, so she kinda really had to coordinate with her shooting days because she didn't wanna take too many days off from work, so I believe she's shooting in the summertime because, teachers are always off on summer, and then her season will air in the fall. So I think Michelle, I'm just excited honestly for both of their seasons. I really don't care what order they go in. I'm just happy they each got a season. And I'm also happy that the network is focusing on the women this time. I mean, it just really seems like Bachelor has been put on the back burner, but I'm just really happy to see either one of them go first, honestly.
I agree. I think it's better that Katie's going first, given Michelle also has to teach her students, but also just the fact that this is still kind of fresh and she also had like the strongest relationship with Matt. I feel like since they're rushing into Katie so quick, we haven't got a time to like breathe. So I'm glad Katie's going first because she does seem very ready for this. It was like, you want to be the bachelorette? Yes. Like there was no hesitation as far as I know, but they got to it very quick. I don't remember it ever being so quick with the seasons back to back to back, but the more the better, let's hope.
Yeah, it is interesting. They're definitely moving forward, moving ahead, especially with everything they're like figuring out right now on just the franchise side of things. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly, Katie season's turned around, what tangible changes we can sense. Obviously, we're going to have two former bachelorettes hosting, so it might feel very different in a very short turnaround time. Now, let's get to Bachelor in Paradise because I know this is all about the Bachelorettes, but we've had some flip flop dancers, early days of the pandemic. What was the future of Bachelor in Paradise? All that jazz. We have talked about it before, but I'm just thinking of the calendar, right? I mean, it just seems like this kind of confirms that maybe Bachelor in Paradise won't be returning in the summer. There were some reports that it would go Katie, Paradise, Michelle, but that's a whole lot of production. Do you guys still have any hope for Paradise? Do you feel like it's going to be, Bachelorette, Bachelorette? Would they have announced it tonight? I mean, what do you make of this?
At this point, I don't know what they're doing. I can't even predict it, but I know that Bachelor in Paradise isn't going away because people love that. But yeah, fitting it in between Katie and Michelle's season does feel like a rush, but nowadays they've been doing all these seasons like back to back. So I don't know, maybe. Or I'm thinking they'll do kind of what Love Island did and they did like a winter version where it's still in like a tropical place. But I hope it's soon because I'm really looking forward to that, thinking of all the people who could possibly be there and who could possibly link up. We got an interesting potential group in the near future.
Bachelor in Paradise is definitely a lot of mixing and matching all the previous people that we've seen throughout Bachelor Nation. And it's a lot more, I think, scandalous, more spontaneous. But I personally, I'm all about just, the standard Bachelorette seasons. They're a little bit more organized. I feel like I can focus on one person and just really kind of, be on this journey with them and kind of like put myself in their shoes and kind of, see what decisions they make. So personally, I'm more of like the one solo, one lead type of person, because I just get so invested on just that one person's journey. Whereas Bachelor in Paradise, it's kind of like all over the place. But I can see how it's more popular because it is more scandalous and more fun, and they go to this fancy island destination, tropical destination. So there's definitely more attraction to that. But I think it might also be joining Bachelor. Maybe being put on the back burner and maybe just investing their time with these 2 Bachelorette seasons coming up. So we might not really hear about anything, maybe end of this year we might hear about, a new season or maybe next year, you never know, but I feel like it's joining The Bachelor on the back burner for this year.
Yeah, totally. And one thing, to consider is there's obviously some hope on the table, but that by the end of May, all adults will be eligible for vaccines, the timing, etc. I'm not going to claim to be an expert in that department, but, there is some hope. There's some light at the end of the tunnel. So, one thing that I'm thinking is like a paradise season is tougher to create a bubble for, right? Because in theory, it's the sending new people in, it's the coupling, it's a large group of people mixing and mingling. It's a little harder to keep people locked down. The quarantine windows for new people coming in would be very complicated. And then of course there's the question of it traveling. It's just a lot to unravel, right? And of course there is a way to do it. There is a way to figure it out. But I'm curious if perhaps they're looking at that light at the end of the tunnel and going, well, hang on, if we just chill out for a little while longer, push this off a little while longer, we might have way less of a headache on our hands. So I don't know. Obviously, we're speculating here, but it will be interesting. Going back to what you said, Hiba, about The Bachelor being on the back burner, I think the question is kind of like, are we getting a Bachelor announcement this year? Next year? That all? Like, when are we going to see a new Bachelor? Because they broke tradition, with Matt's season, cast someone completely on the outside, someone we, knew but didn't know from the show specifically. What is The Bachelor going to look like? And when are we even going to see it next? What do you think is going to happen there, Avery?
So I originally thought that they were going to wait until Katie's season and Michelle's was over and then pick from both of those groups of men. But now I'm thinking just the way things unfold, after Katie's season, we're already going to have a lot of fans probably like, oh, we want so and so as the next Bachelor or this guy. And then there's going to even be even more contenders after Michelle's. And what if it's really hard to pick again? And then they do two, like they did this season. I don't know. But what I think is going to happen is they're going to see mainly just how fans react to everything and base it off of that. Because that's kind of what they've been doing lately. And they kind of want to really save their reputation, which I think they have, especially after the final Rose episode. But it's hard to say what they're going to do because they're doing a lot of things differently now. So I don't know. Maybe what I just said will happen. Otherwise, I don't know.
I think they're also gonna see how the audience reacts to 2 Bachelorette seasons back to back. So, depending on how that goes, what the reaction is, like you said, they might choose contestants from both of those girls' seasons to see maybe if they have a surplus amount of men who are qualified. They might do, 2 seasons of Bachelor, like you mentioned, next year. So, I think a lot is riding on these 2 back-to-back seasons of The Bachelorette to really see again, how we react, how this kind of really plays out logistically, and if we even like this type of order instead of, flip-flopping from Bachelor and Bachelorette. So, I don't know why they're doing, these, so many changes. Maybe they're just trying to mix it up and they're really just, hanging by a thread at this point with everything going on. But we'll have to see. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they ended up doing the 2 Bachelor, seasons back to back for next year. It's a lot to keep up.
It is. It's a lot to keep up with. There are obviously a lot of possibilities on the table, but what we do know for sure is we are going to see Katie step into the role and Michelle step into the role. I know we are all very excited about it, but we want to know what you guys think. Were you thrilled to have this news become official? Are you looking forward to it? Let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the wonderful Avery Grooms and Hippa Berry. If you want to come say hi, our social handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.